morning. Today I'm going to show you the rest of my first week of the externship. I will go through kind of what I'm learning. I am going to start heading off to the externship this morning. It was really gray and rainy. It was really stormy last night. I'm hoping it'll be a little bit better this morning to drive to work, but we'll see. But if you do enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more, and let's get started. I am back from the externship. I worked a 12-hour shift, and my goodness, it was crazy busy from start to finish. Thankfully, we still got a lunch, so that was good, but I didn't really get to eat many snacks. So I'm definitely exhausted. It's 9:30 at night already, and I just made it back to the hotel. My goodness, the amount of things that I learned today. I got to see 2 heartworm positive dogs. I got to listen to a galloping heart for the first time, and boy, is that very interesting to hear. Then I got to check out some ear cytologies today that had a bunch of bacteria in them. I got to help with a critical seizure tremor patient that came in as a walk-in, but unfortunately there wasn't much we could do, so we referred it to our local emergency hospital. That was quite interesting. That case went on for like an hour and a half. I don't know how many patients we saw today, actually. It's just kind of a brain fog at the moment, but thankfully we ended the night off really well. We had a cute puppy that came in that unfortunately had some vomiting and diarrhea, but tested negative for parvo and giardia. I think everything in the stool was actually negative, so we just sent them home with some medication to help with the diarrhea and vomiting issues. But I did get to see 2 ultrasounds of the bladder today to collect urine for cystocentesis, just to check. And then we did have a patient today that we had to deliver some bad news to the clients because the dog was in renal failure. And I was able to talk to the manager today about what my hours are going to look like and see if I could work over if I wanted to, just to get some more experience with different doctors, because the doctor I was mostly working with today was a relief veterinarian. So this isn't like her main hospital that she works at. She works when they need her to. So that was really nice, just to get her perspective on what a relief vet kind of does, because I don't know what I might consider in the future for myself as a veterinarian, so I'm trying to keep my options open, even though I'm mostly focused on public health at the moment. I always know that can change though, especially during my clinical years, so this is why I'm putting myself out there for these externships, trying new things, and ultimately it's still a great learning experience. So I'm really happy with how today went, and I'm super excited to see what tomorrow will bring. For now, I am going to eat because I'm starving. And then I am going to take a quick shower and then head straight to bed because I have to be back at the clinic at 9 a.m. and I might end up staying the full 12 hours again. I don't know yet because I have to do some laundry tomorrow. Exciting times. I'm so happy that I made this decision. I'm gonna go get something to eat and probably crash hard after the shower. So, have a good night. Good morning. It is Wednesday, and I am about to head to Walmart to pick up some laundry supplies and some meals for today. This morning was so cute going to breakfast. I met a family in the elevator with like 3 younger kids, and one of the kids was so sweet and gave me a little picture doodling that he made either yesterday or this morning, and he's like, "Oh, this is for you," and I'm like, that's so cute. But definitely made my morning. That was really nice. But I also wanted to mention that I did receive an email last night from the admissions team at St. George's University, and it looks like they are wanting me to apply for kind of a position with the university where they will pay me for every time that I sit in with a webinar meeting or do a Q&A session with the pre-health advisors. So I think I'm going to apply to that tonight and fill out all the paperwork just to get that process going, because they've already asked me to do another one in July. So they're trying to help me get paid for that one. But that was really nice of them. I'm greatly appreciative that they even asked, because usually it's just on a volunteer basis. But since they seem to like me so much, they've agreed to pay me. So that is amazing. There's no words really to express how grateful I am for that, because we all know vet school is extremely expensive, so every little bit helps. But I am going to head to Walmart really quick to pick up things before I go to work today. And then I will probably go from there, see if I want to stay until 9 p.m. again. We will see. And I will be sure to update you guys when I get back from work. I made it home from the externship. Today was really difficult. We had a lot of hard cases today, and we had a lot of emotional ones. We ended up euthanizing one of the patients that we saw today because he just was not doing well, and realistically, we couldn't treat the issue. It was kind of a rough day. It was really hard too, because the owners were doing the absolute best that they could. They brought the pet in, and unfortunately he just had a herniated disc that was causing paralysis. And then we had another neurological case where a cat wasn't acting right, so they were going to euthanize, but then they wanted to wait it out and see. We also had a foreign body that came in this afternoon to see if he had eaten a sock again. He's post-op from 3 weeks ago, where they had to do a foreign body removal of socks and a bunch of other things. And thankfully, he didn't eat a sock, but he did eat bread ties, it looks like, that we're monitoring him over the next 48 hours just to make sure that there's no real obstruction, but he was eating and drinking just fine. So that was good. And then our parvo puppy looked a lot better. In the seizure case that we saw last night, where we didn't think the cat would make it, actually made it through the night and seems to be feistier than usual, so that's really good to see. Then our burn patient, our little kitten, is doing a lot better. She was really fighting the laser therapy today, which is fantastic. That's what we want to see. This evening actually wasn't super busy, which was nice because I had a horrible migraine this afternoon. But it is around 9:30, 9:40 now, so I am going to put a load of laundry in, apply for that position that I talked about this morning with the school. I'm getting exhausted. I definitely need to get better at doing quality of life talks, because sometimes I really don't know what the appropriate thing is to say. So I definitely need to learn how to go about that. Thankfully, I have amazing doctors I'm shadowing under, and they have all been incredible at letting me learn and asking questions and coming up with different scenarios on, like, what would you do with this case, or what type of surgery would you do for this, or what type of diagnostics or treatment plan. So I'm trying to get into the doctor way of thinking, and it's really difficult. It's definitely a different transition. And I'm really glad I decided to do an externship before I headed into my clinical year. It's giving me more things to learn about before I actually head into my clinical year, so hopefully it won't be as rough as a transition as I've heard. But I am going to eat really quick, get some laundry in, and take a shower. can apply for that job. Too many things to do before tomorrow, but let's get this done. It is Thursday. I'm so tired and I have a lot of cleaning up to do in here before I leave today because I want the cleaning ladies to come in and clean everything and empty the trash cans. So that means I need to clean up in here so it doesn't look like a total mess. I will admit I'm really messy, but I do clean up after myself really well, just usually later on in the week when I have more time. Sorry I didn't update you guys last night like I had planned, but yesterday was just so insanely busy and I was exhausted by the end of the day that I just wanted to come home and take a shower and eat and just go straight to bed for waking up early again today. But yesterday started off kind of crazy. One of the neighboring veterinary clinics had lost their power, so they couldn't see any appointments that they had booked that day. So they started calling around to all the other vet clinics, including River Valley, and they asked if we could take any walk-in appointments because I believe we're only one of 2 or 3 urgent cares for animals in the Fort Smith area. So we got really busy. Had so many kittens yesterday for like wellness exams, and then we were just rechecking some things. As the evening came around, we got some interesting cases. We had a cat that came in that was presenting with non-weight bearing front limb. We just did radiographs, but we couldn't really find anything broken. So we're not sure what's quite going on, so we sent the kitty home on some pain meds, antibiotics, and we'll probably see her again today to see how the cat is doing. At the very end of the day, we had a dogfight wound come in, and we did have to sedate the dog, repair that laceration wound, because that was a tricky spot. That was right in the elbow region, so it's really hard to suture it closed enough where it doesn't break open, because that's such a high movable area for animals. It's really hard to immobilize them to not outdo themselves. So she is on strict rest, like cage rest. and walking out on a leash so she doesn't break the incision open. Then we did have a lot of surgeries in the morning that one of the veterinarians took care of. We had a dental, we had a clip and clean wound for another dogfight wound that had happened the night before, and we were very short-staffed yesterday. So I jumped in a couple of times to help either hold the patient or get a temperature. I got asked a lot of questions yesterday about cats from the veterinarian that I was going into rooms with, just so I can get more exposure with cats, because at St. George's I don't get a lot of experience with cats. So I'm trying to get more experience with cats without having to join the cat project on the island, because it costs so much money to join all of these clubs. I was really grateful that the veterinarian that I was working under yesterday was able to test me on a bunch of different things regarding cats to hopefully help me learn what they can and can't get at like what age for vaccines, what type of treatments can they have. So that was very exciting and fascinating to learn. But I am going to head to the externship now for my Friday shift. I'll probably be there until 9 o'clock again tonight or later, just because I want to get as much experience while I'm here. Well, yesterday went pretty well. However, we had a lot of crazy situations happen, so I got to learn how to handle clients. That was a really good learning experience. One of them was just so difficult to get through because of how this client was being. But as a veterinarian or a manager, you have to talk through some really difficult situations. And we fixed the problem in another case, so hopefully that patient will be fine. It was just very interesting to see how to go about certain things. And the morning took us a while to get through. We had a lot of appointments and a lot of walk-ins. And then in the evening, we kind of had a slower pace. But if you did enjoy these 4 12-hour days, please let me know down below. And I'm sorry I couldn't really show you much in the hospital. I do hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time.